Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin today's press conference, on behalf of myself, Matchroom Boxing USA, Dazn, and Sky Sports, our thoughts and prayers are going out with welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr., who was involved in a car accident last night. So we are wishing for a speedy recovery for the champ. Get well soon. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to the final press conference for an historic night of boxing action taking place here in the Windy City of Chicago. The heavyweight division is officially being put on notice. The Ukrainian pound-for-pound great Oleksandr Usyk will step into the ring for the very first time as a heavyweight this Saturday night at the Wintrust Arena. You know, here's a man, arguably the greatest cruiserweight of all time. He's won every major accolade in the sport of boxing. Olympic gold medalist, undisputed world champion. He was even voted as Fighter of the Year in 2018 by the BWAA. And keep in mind, he did this in a cruiserweight division, shark-filled. I mean, beating guys like Gavatsky, Hook, Breedis, and Gassiev, and he beating them all in their own backyards. And the last time we've seen anything even close to this was with the great Evander Holyfield. But as the gentleman Chazz Witherspoon likes to say, the heavyweight division is a totally different game. So, ladies and gentlemen, only time will tell what life above 14 stone 4 pounds will hold for the great Oleksandr Usyk. But I can tell you this, in an already extremely exciting heavyweight division, things just got a whole lot more interesting. So as you see, the stage is set for a great fight Saturday night, and it's all rounded off by an absolutely incredible undercard. So here to tell you all about it and introduce you to all the fighters, the man that put it together, the president of Matchroom Boxing USA, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. And our thoughts, of course, with Errol Spence this morning. Chicago, thank you so much. It all started for us just over a year ago when this crazy adventure with Dazn started to unfold. We came into the boxing market. Some laughed, some didn't believe we would last, some wondered how you even spell Dazn. And we came from a standing start without the brand power of a Fox or an ESPN, and we came with a promise that we would deliver the best schedule in boxing. Unquestionably, as we stand here today, we have the best schedule in boxing. We also have the best talent in boxing on the platform. Again, all those early meetings we had recruiting fighters who were told the big names just won't sign. 1 year on, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, Canelo Alvarez, Sergey Kovalev, Oleksandr Usyk, Dmitry Bivol, Gennady Golovkin, Estrada, Devin Haney, Maurice Hooker, Demetrius Andrade, Katie Taylor, Daniel Jacobs, Tevin Farmer. I'm sure I've missed out a few as well. But what a year it's been. And as I said, it all started here in Chicago last year. I remember walking out of that arena after that really good show, having sold about 5,500, 6,000 tickets, thinking they will be back. And my goodness, are they back on Saturday night. Today we've just opened up the only remaining production holds in the arena. We are expecting around 9,000, could even be a complete sellout of the Wintrust Arena. This arena is one of the best viewing arenas to watch boxing. And John Horner, the Chicago native, will tell you, this is a great fight city, and I believe this city has such a big future for major fight nights. And we want to thank all the media and all the community for coming out on Saturday. It's going to be quite a spectacle, quite a show. We're going to speak to all the great fighters here on the stage, and as David said, what a card. Not just the big heavyweight debut of Oleksandr Usyk, but some great fights. Dmitry Bivol defending his WBA light heavyweight championship against Lenin Castillo. The rematch of one of the best fights on Dazn in the last 12 months. Jessica Mccaskill, someone who the entire Wintrust Arena is going to be on their feet for on Saturday. Rematching former world champion Erica Farias in what will be a great fight as well. TJ Dehenny off the back of that 100% fight of the year against Daniel Roman, and Anthony Sims Jr., one of the brightest young talent in the 168-pound division as well. We're going to hear from them shortly, but there's a number of fighters that we want to bring up to speak as well. Some of the younger fighters coming through. Firstly, I want to welcome to the stage this young man who had a blistering start to his professional career. Actually made his debut 12 months ago at the Wintrust Arena. Out with a shoulder injury, back, hungry, ready. And we'll have a big round of applause, please, for Reshat Mati. All these youngsters, they're working on their public speaking, so no pressure, Reshat. We know you're ready for this one.
Why I gotta be first, man? I just want to first say thank you to Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and Dazn. I was glad that I started over here in Chicago, and I'm looking forward to, fighting again here in Chicago. I'm looking to put on a good show, hopefully get a knockout, and that's it. Put my name on the map. Thank you, guys.
That was much better. That was so much better than your one a year ago. I can't tell you. You're improving in and out of the ring. This is very important. Congratulations. This young man, again, Pan-Asian amateur champion. We have so many great amateurs right now on Dazn, and this young man is one of them. Very, very dangerous, huge puncher, has a huge future in the division. Big round of applause, please, for Arthur Bayaslanov. He's a much better talker than Reshat, to be honest with you. No pressure, Arthur. Yeah, he is, yeah. You said that, Tom.
Good afternoon, everyone. Здравствуйте. First of all, I want to say thank you to Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing for giving me this opportunity to be on this great show, great event with all these great fighters. I would like to say thank you to my team, my coaches, and everyone else that helped me to train. We're more than ready, and come Saturday night, we'll show you great boxing. Thank you.
Another one of those great young fighters, top amateur. Loves to celebrate with a backflip, loads of energy. I believe this young man is a future world champion, 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause, please, for Otha Jones III.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to thank Eddie Hearns, Dazn, Matchroom, Split Team Management. Had a good camp, and I'm grateful to be on the card with a lot of good fighters. Also, my teammate Charles Conway, and I'm looking to display my talent in lovely fashion. 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Otha. Thanks to all those top young fighters coming through. One fight, we talk about Charles Conway. This is a great fight. This is one of the reasons that you have to get into the arena early. And something that we've been working on a lot during this 12-month period is make sure these cards are stacked from start to finish. Charles Conway against Patrick Day is a great fight. I want to thank DeBella Entertainment for putting this fight together. A real intriguing matchup. A great young undefeated prospect in Charles Conway and a young fighter in Patrick Day, who absolutely must take this opportunity and must be victorious on Saturday night to keep in the major fight. So firstly, I want to bring up to the dais to say a few words, Patrick Day.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, it's an honor to be here. Chicago, Windy City. It's my first time here. Beautiful. Looks a lot like New York, just less crowded. So, that caught me off guard. Everybody here looks great. All the fighters. I'm excited for this card. A lot of talent. So thank God that we're all here healthy, and God willing, everybody makes weight tomorrow and we get to the arena safely and in one piece on Saturday. Yeah, I'm excited. And I'm ready. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, for my fight on Saturday against the great young undefeated Charles Conway. It's going to be a great fight. I know he's ready. He's undefeated. He's an Olympian. He has a lot to prove, and so do I. I always have a lot to prove every fight, not just for this fight. People look at me, look at my demeanor, and they're like, oh, you're such a nice guy, well-spoken. Why do you choose the box? But it's about what's in your heart and internally. And, I have a fighter's soul, a fighter's spirit, and I love this sport. And boxing makes me happy, so that's why I choose to do it. So, we're just going to go out there on Saturday and just have fun, box, do what we love to do. And hopefully you guys enjoy the show that me and Charles are going to put on. You know, it's going to be an entertaining fight. You don't want to miss it. And then after that, you have all these great fighters here that are going to just seal the deal, you know. So God bless everybody. I'm looking forward to Saturday night, and see you then.
Thank you, Patrick. Well spoken. And his opponent, as Pat said, great fighter, undefeated fighter, former Olympian. Please welcome up Charles Conway.
I just want to say thanks for everybody coming out today. I want to thank Lou, Eddie, Dazn, Matchroom, everyone for allowing me to be on this show. We had a tremendous training camp, strong, me and Elton Jones third. We've been putting the work in. We know this is supposed to be a tough fight, but we're coming to steal a show and put on a great fight and come out victorious. So I just want to thank everyone for being there, and make sure you tune in to Charles Conway versus Patrick Day. Thanks, Charles.
Thank you, Pat Day, Charles Conwell. Tune into that fight. It's a great fight. Now we speak to the gentlemen and ladies up here on the main stage. I'm going to start with a man to my left. And when I got asked the question this morning in a one-year recap about DAZN, about my fight of the year, the answer was very, very obvious. Daniel Roman against TJ Dehenny for the unified IBF and WBA Super Bantamweight Championships at the Forum in Los Angeles was, for me, the fight of the year. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Back and forward action. TJ nearly had Danny Roman out of there later on in the fight. It was a grueling affair. This man is back now, hungrier than ever for a shot at that world title and trying to make sure that he can rematch Danny Roman if he gets past Akhmadaliev coming up in the early part of next year, but looking to get himself back on track towards a world championship. Ladies and gentlemen, TJ Dehenny.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all enjoying Fight Week as much as I am, and just want to thank Eddie Hearn, Dazn, and Matchroom Boxing for giving me this opportunity to fight in such a high-profile card with all these fantastic fighters. I'd like to thank my management, MTK Global, Mike Alzamora, and also my coach, Hector Bermudez, my mentor, Mark DeLuca, for readying me for battle this weekend. So I'm very excited to be back. Last time out, as Eddie was saying, I was in an all-out war with Danny Roman in my unification fight. I think that's a fight that has to happen again. I think the fans want to see it, and I definitely want it to happen again. But first I got to get past my opponent on Saturday night. I'm ready for a war, and I plan to go out there and do what I always do, and that's put it on the line and give the fans an entertaining fight, and take my first step towards getting back on top and becoming a two-time world champion. I look forward to seeing you all down there on Saturday night. Thank you very much.
Thank you, TJ. Also a man that was on this card back in October last year at the Wintrust Arena. Again, on the verge now, I believe, of challenging for a world title in 2020. I think one of the most exciting American talents right now in boxing. Big round of applause, please, for the magician, Anthony Sims Jr.
Man, I hate talking. Yes, I'm still alive. Thank you for asking. It's been a long time. I want to thank Dazn, Matchroom, Eddie Hearns. For those that don't know my last fight, you heard a lot of bang, bang, bang in the corner. Did you see the fight? Well, unfortunately, I don't speak Bangladesh. Did you catch that? So that's why I had to change in corner team. I've been gone for a while because I had to change my corner team, but I'm back ready. Planning to take on big fights, big names. After this fight, I feel like I'm ready to challenge, the bigger name fighters. Gracias para todos mis Latinos. Thank you for everybody coming. And yes, I feel quite all right. Thank you for asking. Eddie, I think he tends to forget that he has Anthony Joshua and then there's Anthony Sims. He forgets about me sometimes, but it's okay. Again, I plan to show my skills. Old-fashioned boxing, nothing really special. I'm a throwback. And, got any German fans in here? German fans? Osh, bosh, bagash. That's my best German right there. I've been working on it. And I plan to have a good time. I'll be back in Chicago along with these world champions. Bivol, he's smiling over here. He owes me a headgear too, by the way. It's going to be a historic night. If you want to talk to me afterwards, meet me outside.
Thank you, Anthony. We're going to go now to the unification matchup, WBC, WBA Women's Super Lightweight World Championship. Jessica Mccaskill has been a revelation for women's boxing, of course. Who can forget her winning those world championships here last year in Chicago, and then unifying the division in Maryland in another great performance. She is 1 million miles an hour. She is so exciting to watch. And judging by the look of her opponent yesterday, who decided to stay and watch her public workout and stare her down, Erika Farias looks so determined to try and win her world title back and also add the WBA crown to her roster as well. Firstly, I want to welcome up from Argentina, the former WBC Women's World Super Lightweight Championship, Erika Farias.
Buenas tardes. Solo tengo algo para decirles. Que vine a Chicago a buscar lo que me pertenece. Muchas gracias.
Okay, well, that was brief. She's back to Chicago to get back what belongs to her.
Thank you. Short and sweet, but I think you got to the point. I think you got to the point, to be honest with you. Now we welcome up, of course, one of the reasons we look to this sellout crowd on Saturday night. Chicago should be very proud of this young lady, the current reigning WBC and WBA Super Lightweight Champion of the World, Jessica Mccaskill.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to my city, Chicago. It's so good to have you guys here. It's good to have a full house here. Special shout out to those who were here last year in my gaining of the WBC title. And thank you for coming back for a second helping. A lot of people talked about their camp, and I can't really talk about my camp because we don't have camps at Body Shop Boxing Club. We're in the gym every day, so 7 days a week we're putting in our work. I'll be in the gym on Sunday, even if I'm just running or jumping rope or something. I'll be there because I used to have days off, and now I'm a world champion, so that's the difference. I'm excited for everybody to be here on Saturday to see this fight. If you don't have Dazn, get it, not just for Saturday, but for future fights. Go check out my old fights. They're on there. Thank you, Eddie Hearn. Thank you, Matchroom. Thank you, Dazn.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm looking forward to that fight. Can't wait. Now, another World Championship matchup and another, I believe, a mouth-watering fight. Lenin Castillo, former Olympian. We saw him in a great fight with Marcus Brown as well. Chance for him to try and become world champion on Saturday night. Takes on, in my opinion, the #1 light heavyweight in the world right now in Dmitry Bivol. I believe this young man has all the attributes to go and dominate the division. And right now you have an interesting setup where you have 2 light heavyweight world champions on Dazn and 2 on ESPN. You have Sergey Kovalev and Dmitry Bivol with us on Dazn, and then you have on ESPN a great unification matchup coming up soon between Godzik and Beterbiev. Dmitry Bivol is ready for all those guys, but firstly he must get through a very, very, very good challenger, someone that's very confident going into this fight. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger on Saturday for the WBA world title, Lenin Castillo.
Buenas tardes a todos. Gracias a Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, la WBA y al Team B-Ball por la oportunidad.
Thanks to Eddie Hearn's Matchroom, Dazn, and Team B-Ball for the opportunity.
Es mi primera vez en Chicago y espero hacer historia esa noche. Sé que será una buena pelea por el estilo de ambos y espero convertirme en campeón mundial.
It's his first time in Chicago. He thinks that he had the ability to take that title away from Bivol, and he most likely will be the champion on Saturday.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lenin. And to call up to the stage, like I said, a man outstanding fighter. Had the benefit of working with him in the 3rd fight now, one in Monaco. And of course, a great win over Joe Smith Jr. earlier this year as well, the reigning WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, Dmitry Bivol.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm glad to be in Chicago. This is beautiful, clean city. I like it. And I want to say thank you, Dazn. Thank you, my promotional team. This is Eddie Hearn, Katie Duva, and of course Andrei Rybinski, and Main Events and the World of Boxing Promotion. We have had some problem with opponent on this date, but Castillo and his team took this fight. Thank you for this, and I hope we will make a great fight for boxing fans this Saturday, and I will keep my belt. Thank you.
Thank you, Dmitry and Lenin. Be a wonderful fight on Saturday, and thank you to Kathy and Vadim and Andrei Rybinski as well. Great to work with as a team. We go on to the main event. You know, boxing, sometimes we say in the UK, it can really kick you in the nuts sometimes. And when you're laying in bed in London at 11 o'clock on Monday night and you get a call to say that Tyrone Spong has failed a drugs test and he's out of the fight, you really have to think quickly. I want to thank Eric Botcher particularly for staying up as late as I did that night to make sure that we got this made. I want to thank Aegis and Alex as well for being available and dealing with this situation, because the truth is that if you don't deal with that situation at the right time, you stand a very good chance of there being no show on Saturday night. And you have to go back to a fighter and let him know that unfortunately the show is off. Luckily, you have people who stay ready in boxing. You have people who are willing to take the opportunity. And we want to say a special thank you to Chazz Witherspoon, because he was the guy who stepped up to take this opportunity on Saturday night. Chazz Witherspoon, undefeated, I think, for 6 years now, has been looking for a major opportunity like this. And we've been in discussions with him over the last couple of years to fight Dillian Whyte, to fight Gassiev, to fight Chisora, to fight all these heavyweights. And now he gets his opportunity at late notice, but he has his opportunity. And with a great trainer like Tommy Brooks and a great team around him, he has an opportunity, like another heavyweight who came in at late notice, to completely change the division and change his life. On the other hand, you have one of the all-time legends of the cruiserweight division in Oleksandr Usyk, a guy who we are so happy and proud to work with K2 Promotions and Aegis. We had him to the UK. Unfortunately, he beat one of my best friends in Tony Bellew, which was one of the great nights that we've witnessed in British boxing. Now he moves up to the heavyweight division. Oleksandr Usyk is now the mandatory challenger for the winner of Joshua against Ruiz for the WBO World Heavyweight title. So the pressure is all there on him, not just to make sure that he wins on Saturday, to maintain that mandatory position, but of course the world watching on. Can he deal with the big guys? Can he compete in the heavyweight division? And we cannot wait to witness it. And firstly, from the Chazz Witherspoon team, I want to bring up, as I said, legendary trainer Tommy Brooks.
Thank you. As everybody knows, or some people know, I've been fortunate to work with a number of world champions. This particular fight takes me back to one where somebody mentioned Holyfield earlier. Holyfield was going to fight Mike Tyson. Nobody gave him a snowball chance in the world of beating Mike Tyson. But what happened, if you remember? Both fights. Same thing I'm looking for in this fight.
Thank you, Tommy. And again, this man was ready. He was ready. He was looking for a big heavyweight fight, and what an opportunity for him on Saturday night. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Chazz Witherspoon.
How's everybody doing? I'm not going to be too long, but I do like to thank Mr. Eddie Hearn, Dazn, and Mr. Eric Bottager, for giving me the nod and giving me the call. And I was willing to step up and accept the challenge, so I appreciate them for giving me that opportunity. I also want to thank my team. I have a strong support team around me. Somebody was telling me some stuff on the internet, but about how was I able to get this opportunity. I have a strong team around me. My mother and my father, my trainers, Mr. Brooks, Wade and Randy Hennett, my business manager, Chris Highlander, my partners with Silver Spoon Promotion, Chris and Missy, my brother, sister. I have family, but I have people also around me that they don't share the same last name that I have, but they're good people. They're people I can trust. And that's what allowed me to get to this position that I'm in. You know, I was able to take the call because I'm not with a big-time promoter, so it's no red tape to get to me. And I have been talking with Mr. Hearn, and they've been offering me different fights. And I'm at a point in my career where it makes sense for me to step up and take a challenge like this. You know, if I forgot anybody on my team, my strength and conditioning guy, John Countess, my cousin Rob, my Uncle Brian, my Uncle Walt, I just have a lot of good people around me. But to this is a great opportunity. Opportunity does only knock every once in a while. And when opportunity knocks, you have to open the door and say, who is it? You know, so this is my opportunity. I opened the door and I accepted the challenge. To my opponent, Mr. Usyk and his team, I have nothing but the utmost respect for them. He's a skillful fighter, great champion, has all the accolades in the world. So I have nothing bad to say about him. He actually has really great fans. I want to just give a shout out to his fans because they come up and they take a picture and do an autograph. Everybody's respectful. So I'm looking to put on a good performance. I'm not the guy that's going to get up here and say anything crazy or outlandish or act a fool to do anything like that. But I am the guy, I can say this, I'm the guy that's going to show up to Rumble. You know, I'm not scared. If you're scared, you're in the wrong sport of boxing. All boxers know that. You can't be scared. Your heart can't pump no Kool-Aid, for lack of better words. And my heart don't pump Kool-Aid. So I'm here. I'm ready to fight. I thank them for giving me the opportunity. And I'm somebody that's willing to come in and mix it up. I'm the bigger guy. I'm willing to come in and mix it up, and anything can happen, you know. One time in my life, I made history one time in my life. I was the only guy, I guess, to have all stoppages in the National Golden Glove title. I'm the only person in history to have all stoppages, too. So lightning struck one time in my life so far. I don't know if it can strike twice, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for lightning to strike twice. And I'm here to Rumble, so if y'all want to see a good fight, come out Saturday night, because I'm coming to Rumble. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Chaz. Great words. And this is a crazy sport where, like you said, opportunity knocks at the time when you least expect it. And we're going to move now to the team of Oleksandr Usyk. Two very important people in the progression of his career, both done a brilliant job. This young gentleman, yeah, that is you, Egis, has got just a wonderful stable of fighters. I mean, if you don't know anything about Egis Klimas, know that I've just spent an hour of my life earlier doing an interview for his upcoming documentary. I mean, you must be big if you're having a documentary made about you. So let's bring him up to the stage. I think, run pound for pound, one of the best managers in boxing right now, Egis Klimas.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Windy City of Chicago. First of all, I wanted to thank WADA, who got recently very involved in the boxing, which makes all those cheaters, all those people who's trying to do a shortcut into the sport. Some guys are working hard, bringing everything they can, with sometimes even starving, and somebody just taking a red pill and they wanted to become a matrix. So I don't think it's going to work. So I wanted to thank WADA very, very much for stepping in and taking those cheaters away from the sport. On the other hand, I just been talking with Bernie, and he said, then Saturday night, that bell rings, and you can make a note. You can call the best heavyweight in a division, Oleksandr Usyk. What was that? The baddest man on the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Egis. I'd like to bring up now co-promoter for Oleksandr Usyk, a man that, another great man, full of integrity. I'll never forget our great meeting of writing a deal down on a small pad about that big, several pages, in the bar of a Paris hotel to get this deal done. And ever since, we've both done exactly what we promised. And now our charging Oleksandr Usyk stands on the verge of challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, from K2 Promotions, Alex Krasuk.
Hello, everyone. This is a unique opportunity to bring this man, this outstanding athlete, and just a good guy to the U.S. fans, boxing fans. Usyk has completed his dream, becoming the undisputed cruiserweight. Now he is making his first step on his second dream, becoming the undisputed in heavyweights. And this is, for all of us, this is a great honor that this step is made in the city of Chicago, the city that has become the hometown for many Ukrainians. And we know that the venue is going to be full on Saturday night, and that means that this guy might have a couple of followers here in Chicago in the United States. And we all think that Usyk is the man that can bring heavyweight boxing to the completely new level. So God bless him, God bless all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. And I'd like to bring up the man of the moment right now. Again, when he came to Manchester last year, we had 20,000 people turn out in a sold-out arena to watch Oleksandr Usyk. And the British fans, he took their hearts. And right now, in Britain, in my country, I would say that outside of Anthony Joshua, probably the biggest star in the sport is Oleksandr Usyk. He was over recently for the Lomachenko-Luke Campbell fight. And when he popped up on the big screen, the place went absolutely crazy. And when you talk about languages and speaking English, sometimes there is no barrier for language when it comes to excellence, when it comes to a genius of the sport of boxing. And great boxing people know about and respect the achievements of Oleksandr Usyk. Like Alex said, the undisputed cruiserweight champion now has a dream to become the undisputed heavyweight champion. Please welcome up to the stage Oleksandr Usyk.
What I want to say. Александр, ты мне поможешь. Я хочу поблагодарить свою команду за то, что она очень быстро среагировала на то, что произошло.
Hey, no, it's okay. Yeah, first of all, I want to thank my team for reacting that fast for the circumstances that took place.
Это лучшая команда в мире, я их очень сильно люблю. Я хочу сказать спасибо своим друзьям, своей супруге, которая здесь. И вам всем хочу сказать спасибо. Приходите в субботу, потому что будет грандиозное шоу. И поблагодарить моего оппонента, что он согласился со мной боксировать. Saturday, see you Saturday.
My team is the best team. I love them all. I want to thank them for being here with me. I want to thank my friends who are here in attendance, my wife, who I love so much. So I want to thank all of you for being here and to invite you Saturday night to Wintrust Arena. There's going to be some mess.
Thank you, Alexander, as well. Thank you, Chaz. Thank you, all the fighters here. Let's remember that we owe all these guys because at the end of the day, we're the lucky ones. We get to go in there on Saturday night and enjoy a great night of boxing while these guys put themselves on the line. They train hard, and on Saturday night, they will be putting everything on the line to entertain us, the lucky fans. So we want to thank all the media in Chicago. Keep spreading the word. I want this to be a total sellout because if Oleksandr Usyk can start selling out arenas in Manchester and Chicago, who knows what's next? Kiev, Saudi Arabia, the world is his oyster. But firstly, Congo as well. Congo, okay. And firstly, he must get past Chazz Witherspoon, who is coming to cause a huge upset on Saturday night. We're going to have head-to-head... Sorry? That's right, Tommy. Okay. We're going to have head-to-heads up here now. with all the fighters. And again, thank you for all your support. Thank you. See you Saturday. On the stage for now. We'll call you up.
Hold on, it's connected.
Yes, sir. What's up, brother? How you doing? Very good. You? Good to see you.